Steam has over 100,000 games in their library, and if you look right next to the game title, you can find the ratings of each game. However, not all games on Steam have these positive ratings and thought-provoking reviews. There are some games with positive reviews, typically meaning the game is amazing and it's a must-play. There are some games with mixed reviews. I like to compare these games to players having a love-hate relationship with the game. And then there are the games with negative reviews that receive about the same amount of treatment as a middle child in a family does. People hate them and don't care for them. Today, I made a list of the 5 of the worst rated games on Steam and found out why people didn't like them. Alright, the first game that we're going to be checking out is called Dark Blue Warrior. A portal from Deep Blue appeared, and the protagonist of the warrior decided to walk into the portal to find out. That didn't really reveal anything, but yeah, let's go ahead and jump in, guys. At the beginning of Dark Blue Warrior, I start off in what appeared to be the void. After doing some exploration, I came across a shrine, and after stepping on it, I was teleported to another part of the void, where I was quickly surrounded by a horde of what appeared to be Pokemon. If Nintendo gets a whiff of this game, this dev will get sued. Tell me these enemies don't look like Pokemons. Nice. Okay, is that a Pokemon? That's legit a Pokemon right there. That looks like Pidgeotto, and that looks like the Stinger Pokemon. I'll put it on the screen, but... Anyways, I was quickly surrounded by a horde of Pokemon. I didn't know what to do, so I ran away until I started clicking on random buttons, and I learned I had a laser gun. So anyways, I started blasting. Okay, nice. I'm dead. I'm not gonna lie, the controllers were a tad bit weird, as the mouse icon kept vanishing from the screen whenever I aimed down, so I couldn't aim properly, but I was able to get the hang of them, sort of. Okay, I think I got the hang of it. Ouch. I can't move. Oh god, I clicked off screen, that's my bad. After I had somewhat gotten used to the controllers, I noticed the icons in the top center of the screen, and I got curious. After more trial and error, I learned that they are the abilities that the character can use and can be bought off by this merchant guy that I met after dying like 7 more times, and the game decided to teleport me to him because the game knew I was trash and I needed the help. I was curious about these abilities, so I went on a journey to collect 100 coins, which I will say was not easy since the controls were trash and the game kept dropping these fruit health things, and I kept dying a lot. But I knew that I couldn't give up and push through. After a long journey, I was able to collect the 100 coins, but there was a slight problem. You see, I didn't know how to return to the merchant because I went so deep into this labyrinth of a game that I lost my way, and there was also another problem. After beating certain enemies, at times they would drop an orb-like item and I would be teleported to another part of the void, leaving me unsure on how to reach the merchant again. As a result, I was unable to test the abilities. Honestly, the controllers just made it difficult to play, so I decided not to continue anymore. To be honest, the game wasn't that bad, it just needed a little optimization with the controllers and maybe change the mobs so this dev doesn't get a personal letter from Nintendo. But honestly, the game wasn't that bad. The next game I played is called Phantom Ascension 2. It's a first-person parkour game where I'm trying to take down a cult, I think. I start off at the top of a skyscraper, and very quickly I need to use my parkouring skills, and this is also where I encountered the first enemies. I'm provided with an electrically charged baseball bat, and I begin swinging like a madman, and for some reason, the enemies disintegrate after striking them. I guess we can choose or not to fight these people off, and you know, of course, we need a little violence in our lives. Every now and then, you know, today I just woke up and chose violence. And I like how my bat just literally disintegrates them. Okay. So, yeah, this seems like a very parkour-ish game from the looks of it. Wait, that's that's kind of cool. I like that. Huh? Dude, these guys are like ninjas. You can't even hear their footsteps. They're just like appear right behind you. I then continued to parkour like a badass, which I will say, honestly, the parkouring was pretty smooth in this game. Anyways, as I continued to parkour and kick some cultist butt, and I was enjoying myself disintegrating more enemies, I noticed something. I noticed that after hitting them once with the bats and disintegrating them out of existence, that was it. There was no real challenge when it came to probably one of the most important elements of the game. The elements being the fighting mechanics. By making the enemies easy to beat with one hit, it took away some fun from the game. In fighting games like this, enemies must be challenging and require more than one hit to defeat, which clearly they didn't do in this game. Maybe it's still in demo format and that's why they made it that way, I don't know. Anyways, I continued to parkour and I stumbled upon some levitating structures. I tried to climb them thinking I could go higher, but that was not the case. It seemed they were there for aesthetic reasons. There was some sliding action where I could slide down some buildings. I ended up sliding off the building and dying a couple of times. Oh, okay, I know what I needed to do. It's just, yeah, we got a little distracted here. Okay, he did not jump. Okay, I got this. He doesn't jump. After some more parkouring and fighting more enemies, I came to a confusing stop. I couldn't find where I had to go next. I tried to parkour to get on top of this building as it looked like I could climb and continue, but that was not the case. I looked around some more, but couldn't find anything. I stopped and I gave up my parkouring career. I will have to say, the parkouring ran smoothly and the fighting was okay. It wasn't as bad as I expected. In fact, this game was actually really fun, and I think it was like my favorite. It's like my second favorite out of all the games that I have on this list. This next game actually doesn't have any negative reviews. It actually doesn't have any reviews at all, but after I played it, I would definitely rate it in a not so favorable way, and here's why. Nisqala is a Balinese horror game that touches on a scary myth from Bali, I think. The game kicks off with a heavy beginning. I start by watching my grandpa die, and soon after I experience some nightmares about a woman haunting my dreams, showing us that maybe she's the reason grandpa died? I don't know. I quickly get woken up by my nightmares and decide that I need to clear my head, and I begin to explore the house, and I find my grandpa's room, and after noticing it's dusty, I clean it. Well, actually, I just cleaned the dresser. The game said I needed to clean the room, but I only ended up cleaning the dresser. Easy job. After exploring further, I discovered a shrine in my house and decided to investigate it. After investigating the shrine, I was then introduced to a list of dialogue lines and thought nothing of it. Okay, I'm assuming that these are some responses that we're gonna be able to use throughout the game. As I was leaving the room, I saw a cat and followed it, and it led me outside the house. And that's when the horror started. Okay, so this is where we're gonna be using the talk commands. Mythical zone. You are in a haunted area, so you may want to be more polite or say excuse me if you're passing through this area. I request permission to pass this place. I guess I can't talk anymore. I guess that was good enough. And unfortunately, where it also ended. That was the only horror moment I got out of this game. After experiencing this slight jump scare, I decided to go to sleep and calm myself down from this horrific experience. After I woke up, I left my house and I explored the town, and there were many NPCs that really made the game feel lively. Now, I don't know if the developer thought this sound effect would make the world seem more lively, or maybe there's a giant epidemic in Bali of bronchitis because everyone in the game was coughing for some reason. Are you good, lady? Yo, everybody's coughing in this town. I'm afraid. I think I'm gonna get... Are we suffering a epidemic of some sort of coughing disease? So I continued to explore the town. However, there was really nothing else I could do other than explore the world. So that's it for this game. I just stopped playing. I think what this game lacked was direction. In terms of, you know, failing to show me what I had to do to continue the story. And it just left me to wander around the empty town until I got bored and I just quit the game. The next game is called the Doner Master Simulator, which is basically a Turkish restaurant simulator where I only sell doners, which is like a sandwich or something. I'm not Turkish, so I don't know. Let me know if you know what a doner is. I went inside the restaurant and found it to be in a complete mess, so I had to clean it up. I picked up some trash bags, swept and mopped the floor, and left the restaurant completely immaculate. Just like that, it was ready for business, and moments later, customers began to flood in. So this is where the problem started. I had played the game previously to test it, and for whatever reason the game didn't reset the funds the game starts you with, which was $2,000 or so. I said, to heck with it, let's see how far I can go. I took the customers' orders, I ordered some essentials and had them Ubered to me, and I had to keep inventory in check. The making of the doners was the real challenge though. You see, there were times when I could not interact with or mix items needed to make the doners, which slowed me down and caused me to lose customers due to the long wait time, making it hard for me to progress in the game and also, to deliver the orders. So I fought with the system until I was able to finally make an order. After all my struggle, I was able to make a doner and give it to the customer. I was so proud of myself. I was so happy to finally make a customer happy, and I delivered him his order. However, this happened. What? Wait, somebody left without paying. No. Hold on. Hey, whoa, buddy, where are you going? Where are you going? Huh? Where are you going? Hey, yo. Bro, hey, yo, give me your money, bro. Dude, after that horrible experience, I closed shop. I was honestly surprised that this game got a lot of negative reviews. Silence in the Cabin is a first-person shooter survival horror game about surviving the cold weather and its terrifying inhabitants. So anyways, I wake up, gloveless, in the middle of a snowy forest. I find a cool knife and learn that I have unlimited stamina and I can literally stab a man non-stop. After wandering through the snowy forest for several minutes, I discover a boarded up room and find a key inside it. I don't know why that sounded like broken glass. It was wood. What is it? What? The barn key. I quickly locate the building associated with the key and enter a spooky abandoned building. Upon entering the building, I found a gun, which made the situation feel less scary. However, that's when the true horror began. Oh no. No. What was I thinking playing the... No. What is that? What's shining in the distance? I don't like this. Oh my god! He didn't even swing and it just broke. Oh no. No. Oh god. No. Okay, I have to admit to you guys, it's been a long time since I played a horror game. Years. I have to admit to you guys. I'm sorry. The fuck is that? Okay, they weren't really scary. For some reason, it made me think of like some Resident Evil character size zombies. Luckily, I was able to survive the House of Horrors, and I found myself outside and was met with an eerie fire-like ambience that I could only connect to a continuation of the nightmare I had just experienced. I found another set of weapons because I guess I lost the weapons when I left the building. As I continued on, I wandered through the snowy forest. I encountered with what appeared to be a legendary ice Pokemon. I unloaded a full clip on it, knocking it out and sending it to the nearest Pokemon Center. Nintendo better not download this game. After encountering a few more legendary ice Pokemons and completely annihilating them, I found a cabin, and I realized that I'm either a child or the shortest man in the world, as I could barely reach the doorknob. I entered the cabin, took down more Frosty the Snowman, and made it out, and it had turned to night, which made it scarier, but Mama didn't raise no bitch. Okay. I think we did it, guys. I think that's it. I think that I don't think that's it. I think there's more over there actually to my left. Yep, there's one right there. Hi. How's it going there? Ah! Holy shit, hi. I made it through the forest of death and found myself in a military bunker. As I explored the military bunker, I encountered a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and almost crapped my pants. And at the same time, I noticed something about the game that made me realize why the game got crappy ratings. This is where all the flaws started to show about the game that I personally felt made the game slightly less enjoyable. To start off, how was I slower than Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon? The dude must weigh like 100 tons, but I was somehow slower. The second thing that I didn't like was the weapon and animation. When I first drew out the weapons, the animations took like 3 minutes to do. I also think the reloading could have been a little faster, but the reloading wasn't much of a problem. The other thing I noticed was the damage to the enemy system was kind of broken. I don't know if that makes sense, but there would be times where I would shoot less and I would kill it. There would be other times where I would shoot it more and it wouldn't die. So I didn't know how to explain that, but hopefully that made sense. What? I literally unloaded maybe 15, 16 shotgun rounds into that big monster and it didn't die, but I shot submachine gun rounds into it and it just seemed like the game didn't properly read or recognize when the hitboxes were getting hit. It was kind of weird. Anyways, I got stuck in a bunker because of those problems and I wasn't able to beat the game. If I really tried, I could have done it, but I think I got to see a good chunk of the game. Honestly, it was a good game. It was fun. I liked the world. It was fun to explore. The Winter Forest gave me good vibes. It gave me like spooky good vibes. The monster was kind of scary, but not really. But yeah, those are all the games that I checked out. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to hit that like button. If you guys want to see more, make sure to hit that like button. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And if anybody made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys later. Bye bye. Take care.